And what else does it say? It says bind under a great curse. All right. So that's why you're supposed to pray to the Lord Yahweh Shem Shah for the true wisdom and understanding, man. Okay, so you can be able to know the true breakdown of the scriptures, and so you can preach it to the next person that's willing to receive it, man. Okay, because you want your fruit to increase in this truth, man. You want your fruit to increase in this truth, and the only way that's gonna happen is if you stay occupied in the true breakdown of these scriptures, man. The true breakdown of these prophecies. Okay? Because if you get a false breakdown from somebody else about a prophecy that's not coming to pass, then what you gonna be waiting on something that's never going to come, man. And then next thing you know, you're gonna be sitting there looking dumb. You're gonna be sitting there looking stupid. Okay? And then you're gonna be ashamed, man. Alright? You're gonna be ashamed, and then you're gonna be taken in the snares and the traps of these plagues that the Lord is gonna send, man. If you listening to a person like Bishop Nate talking about the RFID chip ain't the mark of the beast, then guess what? When the RFID chip presents itself and it becomes mandatory, you gonna take it, man. Alright? And guess what? That's gonna be on Nate hands. That blood is gonna be on Nate hands if he don't get himself right and start preaching the right doctrine, man. Okay? And that goes for the rest of anybody else who preaching a false doctrine or preaching outside of the doctrine of Yahweh Shem Shai, man. Alright, now I'm gonna go back in Matthew the 24th chapter. Lord willing. Picking up where I left off. Matthew chapter 24, verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. So iniquity is what? Iniquity is sin upon sin. Okay? So you're going to have people committing sin upon sin. Alright? You're going to have mass people committing sins, man. Mass people killing. Alright? Mass people robbing and looting. Mass people committing adultery, raping, robbing, and stealing, and murdering, man. All throughout the streets. You're going to have people taking the RFID chip, which is totally against the Most High. You take that RFID chip, you have no repentance, you have no redemption, you have no source of being saved whatsoever. Okay? So you're going to have Esau, he going to be doing his wickedness on the all-time high. He going to be doing sorcery and witchcraft, deceiving the people, and killing people in these concentration camps, ordering martial law. It's going to be crazy out here in these streets, man. There's going to be fucking martial law troops killing, taking over the streets, man. There's going to be cities being blocked off. There's going to be, the scriptures talk about a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. All right, that's martial law right there. So it's going to be total chaos everywhere, not just America. The whole world is going to be total chaos. This is Jacob's trouble. Trouble for Jacob, trouble for Israel. And if Israel is scattered all across the world, then that means Jacob's trouble has to happen all across the world because Jake is everywhere, man. We were scattered, man. We were scattered abroad, every single nation, every single land on the earth to serve a captivity, okay? To serve a captivity. And before we leave this captivity, we got to go through great tribulation, man, to prove ourselves worthy to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And so 2/3 of the nation of Israel can come back righteous in the kingdom by the way of the elect, man. Because 2/3 not gonna get right, man. Alright, 2/3 of the nation of Israel, you niggas out here, man, you women out here, you harlots, you hoes, y'all not gonna get right, man. The only way y'all gonna get right is if the Lord kill y'all, man. That's the only way. And then y'all gonna be brought back through childbearing of the elect. That's how y'all gonna be brought back in the kingdom, man. And to back that statement up, I'm gonna go in Isaiah, the 14th chapter. I'm gonna start from the top. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel. All right, and that right there lets you know that can't no Edomite, can't no Moabite, no Hamite, no Ammonite or Japhite, can't no other nation outside the nation of Israel receive mercy from the Lord. Okay, ain't nobody else gonna receive compassion, love, and blessings from the Lord except Israel, the nation of Israel, man. Starting with the elect. It says, for the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. You tell me, where is the Israelite land at? In Israel, man. Okay? We are the true Israelites, and our land, our true land, okay, is in Israel. The Lord appointed that land for us to live in, to dwell in, to serve him in Israel. Okay? That's where our true native land is. Okay? And the Lord gonna put us back there, because the reason we not there now is because we went off, man. We went off, and the Lord had to have us serve captivity under the hands of our oppressors, man. All right, which means we're gonna have to leave our native land. We're gonna have to leave our native land, and we're gonna have to serve captivity in the land which we know not. And that's prophecy, man. What the scriptures say in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, that we shall leave again into Egypt. We should go into Egypt again by ships, which was the when Esau came and brought us into the Americas by way of those ships, man. And when we had to serve hardcore bondage, okay. When we first touched down here, man. When you got all of us gathered up on them goddamn slave boats, you know, shackled up, bunched up like sardines, going through hell on them slave ships, man. It was slaves jumping off the ship, man. They rather get eaten by a shark or drown in the water than to continue to live through that slavery and pain, man. So that's the stuff that we had to endure because we went off from the Most High, man. All right, and Salakia for going off topic, but this is Isaiah chapter 14, verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them. Now the strangers is not talking about the strangers is not talking about Gentiles, man. It's not talking about Moab. It's not talking about Esau. It's not talking about you so-called white people. It's not talking about you so-called Japanese, so-called Chinese. It's not talking about the rest of you nations. It's talking about the rest of the people, okay? The rest of the remnant of Israel. It's talking about 2/3 of Israel, man. It's not talking about you other nasty heathens, man. So the stranger that's going to be joined with them is talking about the rest of the nation of Israel who had to die because they wasn't getting right with the Lord, man. Which means that in the kingdom, all of the Israelites is going to be in a righteous state of mind again. All of the Israelites is going to serve Yahweh Shem Yahushua and know who the Lord is again. All of the Israelites is going to continue to serve the Lord, and the laws is going to be in our inward parts, meaning we going to never, ever, ever go off ever again, and we going to rule over you other nations, man. It says, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. Okay? So that's what it is, man. That's what it is. In the kingdom, that's how 2/3 is going to be brought back by the seed of the elect, man. Now, going back into Matthew, the 24th chapter, I'm going to read verse 12 over again. It says, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. All right, and iniquity abounding is sin continuing to increase within the land. Okay? So now I'm going to going Timothy, Lord willing. This is 2 Timothy chapter 3 verse 1. It says, this know also, that in the last days perilous times shall come. All right, and we are in the last days, and those perilous times is being fulfilled, man. and it's waxing worse and worse. That word perilous means dangerous, okay? So dangerous times shall come in the last days. Verse 2, for men shall be lovers of their own selves, which means to be selfish, okay? Covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy. And that's the characteristics of our people, man. That's the characteristics of our people in today's society. Our people are selfish. Our people are proud. They boast in the riches that they get by deceits, man. Our people, just like Esau, man. That's why the scriptures say in John 8:44, ye are your father the devil. Because 2/3 of the people of Israel, they act just like Esau. They kill just like Esau. They murder just like Esau. They lie just like Esau. They deceive and they supplant just like Esau. Our 2/3 of the nation of people are reenacting the ways of Esau, man. Okay? They cheat like Esau. It says, verse 3, without natural affection. All right, because the true nature of an Israelite is to show affection. The true nature of an Israelite, when the Lord created us, He created us with an upright spirit, man. He created us to be righteous, to walk in the ways of these law, statute, commandments. So the true nature of an Israelite man, or the Israelite nation as a whole, is to be peaceful, to be loving, and just to be a plain man dwelling in tents, man. All right, Jake don't like going out looking for trouble, man. Jake don't like, indulging in stuff that's gonna lead them to be locked up, killed, or just in a fucked up predicament, man. Jake is not originally like that, but we in captivity, we've been, Esau had his foot on our neck so long that Esau's ways has started to rub off on our people, man. And our people just are lost, okay? Our people are lost. And then you got to remember, too, we was in captivity under Esau for so damn long that, Esau got their minds now. Esau literally got the minds of 2/3 of the nation of Israel. It's called Stockholm Syndrome, man. Okay? Esau has put a spell on you niggas to where y'all want to stay here in America under captivity, man. So that's the reason why Jake is the way he is now. That's the reason why Jake is boastful, covetous, proud, disobedient, unthankful, unholy, and blasphemous, man. Okay? It says, verse 3, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, and man, you cannot tell me Jake ain't no. Jake is the number one. Jake could be the first motherfucker to falsely accuse somebody of something, man. Especially if they receiving a benefit, man. Okay? You had Yahushua own people was falsely accusing him of things that Yahushua was not doing, man. You gotta remember, when Yahushua was being persecuted, it was false accusers being set up by the chief priests, by the elders, by the Sadducees and Pharisees. It was false accusers being set up, okay? And those false accusers was of that same nation that Yahushua was from, man. They was Israelites, okay? They were Israelites. Even when you read the book of Acts, when Stephen was persecuted, when Paul was being persecuted, when Peter and John was being persecuted, everybody who was falsely accusing them was Israelites, man. Even when Yahushua was being persecuted, it was Israelites that yelled out, let his blood be on our hands and our children's hands. Those was Israelites saying that, man. Okay? So it's always your own people that's going to rise up against you, turn you in. You can't put certain shit past Jake, man. You cannot put stuff like that past Jake. Alright? And Jake can sit up there and smile in your face. Hey, just like the OJs put out that song, Backstabbers, man. They smile in your face. But all the time when they take your place, backstabbers, man. That's Jake. They smile in your face so they can seduce you into, whatever trap that they setting for you. And that's where being circumspect comes in, man. The Lord gave us spiritual discernment to be able to observe whenever, it's some BS going on, all right? So that we can use wisdom to get out of that situation. And Salakia for rambling off, but I'm gonna finish up this scripture. It says, incontent, fierce, despisers of those that are good. All right. So those that despise those that are good is something. Is that's those for something wicked, man. We stand up for something good. We stand up for Yahweh Shem Yahushua. We stand up for these laws. That's what's good, man. Okay. We stand up for the gospel. So that's what's good. But in the last days, it's gonna be those that are despisers of those that are good. So that's why we're gonna be persecuted, man. That's why people gonna be seeking to kill us so hard. That's why people gonna, be looking for us and searching for us and trying to deliver us up. Because first and foremost, Esau gonna promise them some type of benefit or reward for it. And then Jake is selfish. Jake gonna be in that selfish spirit, man. Jake gonna be in that covetous, proud spirit, that blasphemous, unholy spirit, man. Okay, verse 4. Traitors, heady-minded, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of Yahweh. And that's how 2/3 of Jake is, man. 2/3 of Jake, they rather indulge in the pleasure of sin rather than, to sacrifice all of the sin, all of the iniquities to get right with the Lord, man. Okay, 2/3 of the nation of Israel, they rather have they rather have a pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. All right, they rather have they weed rolled up in the backwood. Okay, they rather have somebody else's wife than their own wife, and they just to enjoy the pleasures of the flesh, man, rather than to forsake all of that for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, man, to please the Lord. Okay, that's 2/3 of Israel all day, man, and we know that because we used to be in the world, man, and then at the same time we sit up here witnessing 2/3 in the wickedness that they indulge in. We sit up here witnessing you people forsake good and indulging in evil, man. We watching you people destroy yourselves, man. We watching it in life, in full life. This is live right here. We watching you people destroy yourself willfully, man. And y'all enjoying it. Y'all don't care. Y'all don't care that y'all might die because y'all living like this. Y'all not gonna care until that death presents itself in front of y'all face and Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua come and wipe y'all out, man. Alright, verse 5. It says, having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof, from such turn away, man. Because we was made in the likeness and the image of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. So we have that form of godliness, man. We have that form of power. We have that form of righteousness. It's in us, okay? But guess what? You got 2/3 of the nation of Israel that's still blinded. 2/3 of the nation of Israel that's still spiritually deaf, that's still spiritually dead, okay? So they may have that form or comeliness to be godly, but in actuality, they denying the Most High power, man. They denying Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, and they turning away from righteousness, okay? And that's why 2/3 gotta die. Now going back, and that's prophecy, man. All of this is prophecy. That's the way people gonna be acting in time of Jacob's trouble. They already doing it now, man. It's just gonna get worse, worse, and worse, man. This is Matthew, back in Matthew chapter 24. I'm gonna read verse 12 over again. Matthew chapter 24, verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Now this is 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 1. Now the Spirit speaketh expressively that in the later times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils. Okay, and we just read in Matthew that there was going to be false prophets, man. That there should be many false prophets. Okay, and now we read in Timothy, in 1 Timothy, the fourth chapter, that in the later times that there's going to be some that depart from the faith and they're going to give heed to seducing spirits, man. Which those seducing spirits are demons. Those seducing spirits are demons, you know, tempting you, pulling you in by sin. Okay, those seducing spirits is demons pulling you in by the way of your flesh, pulling you in by, you know, seducing you with sin, enticing you with sins. And once you keep giving into it, then guess what? It's gonna reach to the bottom. It's gonna reach to the pit of destruction, man. It's gonna reach to the point where you look up and you dead, man. It's gonna reach up to the point where you look up and now you eating the ICMB missile, man. It's gonna reach to the point where you look up and you die of starvation. It's gonna reach to the point where you die a horrible, treacherous death, man. It says, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils, which means doctrines of deceivers. A devil means a deceiver, okay? So those who's out here deceiving people, they're devils, they're deceivers, okay? Don't give heed to seducing spirits and do not give heed to doctrines of devils, man. You know something sounds ridiculous when you hear it, all right? You know if I tell somebody the sky is blue, and he said, no, the sky ain't blue, it's purple. You know that shit ridiculous, man. I'm looking at the sky right now and it's blue. All right. So if I know the scriptures, all right, if I know that the scripture is telling me that the Lord that the Lord has white woolly hair, red eyes, and his feet is likened it to brass as if they burned it to fire. I know that the Lord, oh, okay, well, the Lord must be a so-called black man. His skin must be dark brown, okay? But you telling me, no, the Lord ain't a black man. He a white man with stringy hair, blonde hair, and blue eyes. But I'm reading the scripture right here was telling me that the Lord has red eyes, white woolly hair, and he's a dark-skinned man. I know that shit sound ridiculous, man. So the Lord blessed everybody with common sense to be able to differentiate a lie between the truth, man. Salakia, verse 2 of 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 2. Speaking lies and hypocrisy, Salakia. Speaking lies and hypocrisy, having their conscience seared with a hot iron. See, that's the spirit, man. All right, because I just made the statement that everybody has the common sense to be able to differentiate right and wrong, all right, to be able to differentiate facts and lies. But the reason why 2/3 of our people can't do that is because their conscience is seared, man. Okay? The Lord literally took understanding, wisdom, and knowledge away from them and pulled it back, that they may walk in darkness, that they be blind, with eyes that they cannot see and ears that they cannot hear, man. Okay? That these tables become a snare unto them, that this word becomes a trap unto them. Okay? It says, verse 3, forbidding to marry and commanding to abstain from meats, which Yahweh hath created to be received with thanksgiving of them which believe and know the truth. All right? So 2/3 of the nation of Israel, this is you to a T, man. All right? But the Lord put the spirit on this is Apostle Paul writing, man. This is Apostle Paul writing, all right, for us to beware of false teachers, to us to beware of false doctrines, for us to beware of, you know, false prophets out there, man. All right, for us to beware of lies out there. The Lord commanded us to abstain from meats. What does that mean? False doctrines, man. The Lord commanded us to abstain from other philosophies that's out there in the world, because if you sit up there studying other philosophies, it's going to lead you to, if your faith is not strong enough and you sit up there studying other philosophies, it's going to lead to you venturing off, leaving the faith. You're going to end up bug the hell out, believing some doctrine that's not even true, man. That's not even logical. Okay? So now I'm going to go back to Matthew, the 24th chapter. Finish up the rest of this little bit that I want to read. This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 13. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. So enduring to the end is what? Having patience. All right? Enduring to the end is having patience. Taking that tribulation, taking that suffering, taking that hell, but at the same time, you waiting on the Lord, man. Okay? You taking all of these blows, you taking all of these thorns to the side, you taking all these kicks to the back, and you getting knocked down, and you keep getting back up though. But you get knocked down so many times, but you keep getting back up. All right? That's what enduring is, man. Okay? That's what enduring is. You keep getting back up, although you keep getting knocked down. And as many times you get knocked down, that's giving you more strength to get back up. You know? And as many times you get back up, they're going to eventually stop knocking you down, man. You're going to build up enough strength. The Lord's going to bless us with enough strength to be able to subdue our enemies, man. But the only way the Lord going to give us that strength is if we endure this temptation, if we endure this tribulation, if we endure Jacob's trouble, man. If we endure that temptation of the mark of the beast, the RFID chip, man, then we going to be saved, okay? And when you go into that word endure, it means to harden, all right? It means to harden. So the Lord is going to harden our spirits. The Lord is going to make us men, okay? The Lord is going to purge off all of the, lack, things that, all the things that we lack in, all of the, sin that's within us. The Lord is going to purge all of that out by us going through tribulation, all right? And then once all of that sin and weakness is purged out of our spirit, purged out of our bodies, then we're going to be strong enough to be saved. We're going to be strong. Our faith is going to be strong enough to where we can do miracles. We could heal people. We can, have spiritual powers. Okay, and we're going to be worthy enough to be saved. But you got to endure to the end. You got to have that mindset, like no matter what the hell happened, no matter what I got to sacrifice, I'm going to still stay faithful to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You got to literally pound that inside your brain, man. And you got to have faith to believe it and let your works show. Okay? Now I got a precept. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 4, verse 28. 2nd Esdras chapter 4, verse 28. But as concerning the things whereof thou askest me, I will tell thee, for the evil is sown, but the destruction thereof is not yet come. So that means something that's sown is something that's working. Something that's a work. Something that's being sown is a work. Something that's being performed. Something that's being, something that's being done. So the evil is being done. The works of evil is out here, but the destruction is not yet. I mean, the destruction is not here yet. Okay, just like in 2 Timothy 3:1, where it talk about men shall be heady, men shall be selfish, liars, high-minded, heady, lovers of their own, covetousness. That's that evil that's being sown. Okay. Just like in 1 Timothy, the 4th chapter, where it say, in the latter times, men shall give into seducing spirits, and men shall give into seducing spirits, and they shall, depart from the faith. That's that evil being sown, man. In the scriptures, in Matthew 24th chapter, we'll talk about, false prophets, arising, and there should be many false prophets. That's that evil being sown, man. All right, but the destruction is not yet come. That's why in Matthew the 24th chapter, it said, "Be ye not troubled, for the end is not yet." There's gonna be it's gonna be wars and rumors of wars. It's gonna be earthquakes, famines, pestilence, and great death. But don't be troubled, because the end is not yet. Okay. So it's the same. It applies to this scriptures too. The evil is sown. The evil is here already, and it's gonna get worse and worse and worse. But the destruction is not yet. Okay, the destruction is not yet come. So, meaning endure until the end. All right. The point being to endure the evil. Okay, endure the pain and suffering. Endure the tribulation you're gonna have to face. All right. So when that destruction comes, you can be saved. Matthew chapter 24, verse 13. But he that shall endure until the end, the same shall be saved. This is Jeremiah, Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble. So Jacob's trouble is going to be a terrible day, a day like no others. Jacob's trouble is going to be worse than 70 AD, the besiege of Jerusalem. It's going to be worse than World War I and II. It's going to be it's going to be way fucking worse than the Civil Rights era. It's going to be it's going to be worse than hardcore bondage. It's going to be worse than any event in history that was tragic and devastating. It's going to be worse, man. It's going to be 10 times worse. Jacob's trouble is going to be a time like no other. Okay? It's going to be spirits out here that you've never seen before. It's going to be animals out here you've never seen before. It's going to be events taking place that you never thought would happen, man. Okay? So that's what's going to make it like a time like no other. It's going to be a lot of stuff happening that, you know, that seems far-fetched, that seem like it's going to seem like a movie, you know? You sit up here, you watch these movies like 2012, Terminator Judgment Day, Independence Day. You watch these movies and you watch these movies and you think it's just fantasy and sci-fi, and you think it's just, you know, the imagination of the director's mind, whoever created the movie, when actuality, no. That's going to take place, man. All of these things that you see in these movies, that's going to eventually take place, but except it's going to be worse, because why? It's reality now, man. Okay? It's going to be reality. And then in a lot of movies, directors, they get their ideas and stuff from the scriptures, man. And then they implement it in their movies, okay? It's called predictive programming, all right? That's what it's called, predictive programming, you know? But a lot of times these directors, the stuff that they put in their movies, they get from the scriptures, man. But I'm going to read Jeremiah 30, verse 7. Alas, for the day is great, so that none is like it. It is even a time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it, man. Who is that he? The elect. All right, those who endure. Those who gonna be saved out of Jacob's trouble, man. The elect, those who endure until the very end. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 9, verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I've told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So we're supposed to be measuring the time diligently, man. How do you measure the time diligently? By equating everything that's going on in the world